You know how we got in trouble for like Project 2025?
I like how they're also ooh about that. You know, every single one of them now just like really try to distance themselves. Not only have our really f***ed up, super strange architecture for some kind of like monarchistic suppression of minorities and women ideal version of Christian America be known to the world, but it's actually something that's being adopted and in part crafted with staffers for the presidential candidate of the United States. So we're mainstream. We're out there. People are learning about our message. And it turns out like the majority of people who learn the message just are completely repulsed by it. Let's just say MAGA ramping up the racism. I know you're not supposed to use the dreaded R word when you talk about Republicans. They get very angry because they say everything is racist to you, lefties.
First of all, I love this idea that illegal aliens come into our country and then they get legal support. I mean, honestly, you shouldn't even be allowed to have food. I know that's going to be a controversial statement, but we have Americans who are starving here, and there's people that are actually trying to give illegal aliens food. Why the
I guess my first part would be, then are you proposing anything to feed the starving Americans? You know, child feeding programs, for example. Pretty simple thing I think most Americans would agree on. Kids shouldn't starve. They're probably innocent in the whole kind of, you know, nonsense bozo clown world that their adults have formulated. So that one would be a start, you know. Also, the fact that just immigrants in general shouldn't have food just at all, period. Are they allowed to buy it? I know the idea is that they're being given free food, but are they allowed to, say, work and then buy food and then consume it?
hell should I care if an illegal alien starves? Why should I care? Seriously, why should I care? That might sound controversial, but really.
Again, you'd probably be completely ignoring everything that like Laura Loomer is saying or putting out there in general if it wasn't for the fact that she was traveling around with Donald Trump right before the debate, and then Donald Trump, instead of condemning all the extreme racist rhetoric that's been coming out of her mouth, has been either defending her or saying that, you know, she's an independent woman, she's you know, separate from us, but yeah, she's obviously a very important figure within the movement, and she does seem to be at this point, unless the other rumors are true, that she's been kind of just become, you know, Loomered herself, like, you know, Laura non grata. She's not allowed back on the Trump planes anymore after something happened. We're not entirely sure what, but something took place. She's maybe not in the inner circle as much anymore, but still, this is, you know, directly someone who's flying with and speaking to the president.
We have people in our country, children, American citizens, children in our country who are starving to death. They don't seem to care. Why should I care about an illegal alien getting food, getting shelter, getting water, and now they're getting legal support? I mean,
yeah, because they're humans, just like us. They're exactly the same. They're people. I get it. It's scary. They're coming from other countries. They might speak other languages. They might even look a little different. You know, could have some different amounts of melanin or whatever it may be. But they're still people, and most likely, I mean, if you were to say that you think all humans have equal worth, then you probably wouldn't want to see a bunch of people starving, especially people who want to work.
who do these people think they are? They want to file criminal charges against Donald Trump and JD Vance. We're supposed to give a shit about whether these people have resources to survive, and now they want to utilize our legal system to try to jail Donald Trump and jail JD Vance because their feelings are hurt, because we pointed out the fact that people in Haiti practice voodoo and now they're eating people's pets?
Again, that totally debunked. Not true. Just a racist conspiracy theory that, you know, I think a lot of people, even on the more extreme MAGA side, have started to move on to the new thing, you know, the whole NPC chip, moving on to next outrage. But it is something that the more, I'd say, extreme racists on the whole MAGA crowd haven't been able to let go. Nancy Mace is now describing migrants as, quote, pedophiles.
Just last week, Harris, 158 Democrats voted against my bill, the Violence Against Women by Illegal Aliens Act, that would deport these criminal illegal aliens who are raping our women, who are pedophiles, and who are murdering our women and girls, just as you cited in Nantucket and other places. Every town has become a border town. Every state has become a border state.
Like, it's something you have to keep trying to fearmonger over because it's not true. And when it's not based in reality, it's just based in racism, xenophobia, and, you know, fear of the other, then you're going to have to keep repeating it, that like all the towns are overrun. Your local town, your local community, it's completely overrun by migrants. They're everywhere and they're destroying everything. They're burning the city to the ground. It's outrageous. Charlie Kirk says not voting for Trump will lead to nationalized abortion rights. Don't promise me a good time, Charlie.
So you basically have about 20 states here that have vastly more restrictive abortion laws, thanks to the Dobbs decision, that have so far not been overturned in any vote. And, you know, it's actually been almost it's been over 2 years at this point. They've stuck around a little bit. They've gotten through an election cycle. And if you have pro-lifers deciding to stay home because Trump doesn't want a national abortion ban, like, what you are effectively doing is you're mad at Trump over something that won't happen, because I'm just going to tell you, they're not going to pass the national abortion ban. And if they do, we will lose the following election. I don't like that that is true.
Yeah, Blake is super pro-life.
That is what would happen. It's like saying, like, we should, like, nuke China to stop abortion. Like, okay, that's just a dumb thing to do, because it would have massively destructive follow-up consequences. So we won't do it. And that is the same thing here. You're going to not vote for Trump because he's not pro-life enough, but you'd rather have national Roe. And really, once Congress passes that, I strongly suspect it will be very difficult to ever get it repealed. So let's not have them pass it.
And the key part of this is not just that she supports it. She's willing to remove the filibuster to get it done.
Yes, and that means everything else that they've talked about doing to get rid of the filibuster. They want to make Puerto Rico and DC states, which would, among other things, mean the U.S. flag gets uglier. You don't want that to happen. And, you know, 4 Democrat senators, more safe electoral votes.
I can't speak to this, not American, but is that something you worry about consistently? What an extra star would do? My God, it's destroyed our glory.
And so on.
Stacking the Supreme Court.
Stack the Supreme Court. Pack the Supreme Court. All those gun rights decisions you like, they can get rid of those.
Religious liberty, gone.
Religious liberty,
you must stick with the flag.
School choice, gone. Yeah,
Free speech, gone.
They can just rewrite everything they want.
Correct.
And they have a long list of packages that they want to do. Like, you know how we got in trouble for, like, Project 2025? There are 50 different...
I like how they're also ooh about that. You know, every single one of them now just like really try to distance themselves, when this would have been a moment in other like conditions where the Heritage Foundation, I mean, you would think they would be having 24/7 parties. It's like, not only have our really fucked up, super strange architecture for some kind of like monarchistic suppression of minorities and women ideal version of Christian America be known to the world, but it's actually something that's being adopted and in part crafted with staffers for the presidential candidate of the United States. So we're mainstream. We're out there. People are learning about our message. And it turns out like the majority of people who learn the message just are completely repulsed by it, because they're like, oh God, you guys are sick freaks. No. That's not the future.
Liberal nonprofits with 50 million more in assets, and they all write their own Project 2025s, and almost all of them have a massive list of things they can do if they get rid of the filibuster.
And if you're pro-life out there, if you're a Christian or a Catholic, and you say, oh, I'm not voting for Trump because he's insufficiently pro-life, let me be as clear as I can. Not voting for Trump is a ticket to one-party rule and would have nationalized abortion. It would overturn every single state where we made progress, and then you'd be giving the keys to the Democrat Party to add D.C. and Puerto Rico as states, because they'll use the filibuster for that. They'll get rid of the filibuster for that. Just pack the...
I mean, I wish all of this was about to take place. I don't think it's actually about to happen. It all does sound really scary. Trump was really echoing a lot of what I said about my monologue the other night about the Haitian invasion of Charleroi. If you watched last week's episode of Loomer Unleashed, then you have focused exclusively on the Haitian invasion of Charleroi, Pennsylvania. A terrible situation, and interesting because I think that's how you pronounce it. Let me get these names right.
Charleroi, Pennsylvania.
Got it? Charlie Roy. I don't know if that's a reputable source. There's really only 2.
Charlie Roy.
Charlie Roy. All right, maybe that's how I'll say it. Charlie Roy. A terrible situation. Interesting because, well, we had an entire monologue on here about the show, and then President Trump was really echoing a lot of what I said in the monologue the other day about Haitian invasion of Charleroi. So basically, Trump probably watching Laura Loomer, speculative, but after watching Laura Loomer, then deciding that, he's going to take some talking points from Laura Loomer and her super racist show, which made Trump start talking about at a rally. His focus on Charleroi comes after debunked claims about Haitian migrants in an Ohio community helped stir a firestorm over immigration there. Former President Donald Trump vilified the migrant population of a small western Pennsylvania industrial town during a rally in the swing state on Monday, likening a group of Haitians who have made their home in those of Springfield, Ohio, another place that is not well known until he put it on the political map. Has your beautiful town changed? Mr. Trump asked, amplifying remarks that had previously made about Charleroi while speaking at a rally in Indiana. It is composed of lawless gangs. He has debunked claims about Haitian migrants stealing and eating their neighbors' pets in Springfield, Ohio, helped stir a firestorm of immigration in the community, which has dealt with bomb threats and evacuations from all the racist bile that they can't stop spewing.
Where is he? There he is, Mark Robinson, Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, running for governor. I think he just might be my favorite candidate running for governor right now. This guy is getting such a raw deal from the media, Democrats, and yeah, Republicans too. They haven't even bothered to read the fake news story. They just heard about it. And I got people saying, I can't believe you're defending that guy. Have you read the story? Honestly, have you actually read it? Number one, he denies it. Got to remember that. And then when you actually do read it, you see what a joke this is. They're playing a big game with us, all right? He's out there defending himself. I think he needs some backup, all right? I think he needs some backup. Now, the big disturbing headline in this, well, disturbing, is the whole thing about the black Nazi, a comment he may or may not have made when he was a forklift driver in 2010 when he was hanging around his basement. Well, it's a
What does forklift driver have to do with it, though? Oh, come on. I'm not saying that it's not true. It may or may not be true. He's still denying it. Keep that in mind. But yeah, it does look bad that there may be a public statement where he said that he's in fact a black Nazi, and then there's other statements that apparently he says that slavery was a good thing. He wants to bring back slavery. He said he'd be in the KKK if he wasn't black, that kind of stuff. But, he was a forklift driver. Good old-fashioned, hard-working American. What amongst the blue-collar class, the working class, did you not have these thoughts every now and then? And do you not think that after, you're gooning like crazy online and you're posting in those goon forums, they were porn forums after all, about how you, in fact, are a black Nazi, that kind of stuff? Are we going to cast stones? Seriously?
figure of speech, all right? I don't think he literally meant he was a Nazi. The soup Nazi, right? Where they talk...
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know if younger viewers are going to get that reference. It's a Seinfeld reference. But again, I don't think that was it. If that was in and of itself, I still wouldn't think it was it. Just someone saying, I'm a black Nazi is kind of very self-explanatory. There's not really a lot of room for different interpretations. Sorry, are you referencing Nazi, not as in the National Socialists, the World War II, the whole genocidal project of Hitler, but you're actually talking about the Seinfeld episode, the soup Nazi, and you're referencing how they would have to not really cause a disturbance in a restaurant where the guy made the best soup in the entire city and everyone wanted that soup because it was so delicious, but the problem is that it was very authoritarian when you had to receive your soup. So he, in a lot of ways, was acting kind of like a Nazi, and that's what you were referencing. So you're the black soup Nazi, is what you're saying. Flawless.
Talking about Nazi guards at Auschwitz or anything like that. No, they were talking about a funny character in Seinfeld. You want to talk a real serious issue, though?
Well, I'm just curious, has Mark Robinson confirmed this? Is that part of his actual defense? I would love this. It would be awesome. I really hope it is. I hope he's going full into this entire idea, where it's just like, well, yeah, no, I'm not like a Nazi, like a Nazi, like a Seinfeld soup Nazi, that kind of a Nazi. The different Nazis.
How about anti-Semitism in the Democrat Party right now? Did you see how they honored Jesse Jackson at the DNC?
Oh my God. Oh my God, how could they do that?
Hey, if you'd like to unlock secret bonus episodes as well as uncensored content, go to patreon.com/The Serfs. This show is produced by Anna Loves Riley, Arian McCarthy, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hagbard Celine, Jimmy Sombrero, Voltimondi, Omni, Political Poppy, Preston Kroll, Quiet 185, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Cernicus, Stellar Gwynn, Sebastian Demmel, Travis McClinton, Trincel, Words Greenwood, with additional support coming from all of these amazing human beings right here.